super grateful, super honored for myself, Young Nine Foundation, be here at Johnson C. Smith, putting on it's our second one out here in Charlotte, our Young Nine Youth Camp. Means a lot. We just want it to be a day for the kids to have fun, enjoy themselves with football, but also be able to have conversations about mental health. Throughout, there'll be stuff built in for them to learn, have some tools that can help them, whether it be in sports or in life. But be able to do that organically, have a good time. I'm super grateful for all the sponsors that made this possible, for Johnson C. Smith for allowing us to be here and just to be out in the community.
Bryce, I know you spoke about breathing exercises being very good for you. Is that one of the tools that they're going to learn during this event?
Yeah, it will. We'll be able to have we're gonna talk through some breathing, do some breathing exercise, which is great. And I think just being able to expose kids to things like that, I'm looking forward to it.
Was there a camp when you were younger that kind of influenced you on how you wanted to do this?
Ironically, I went to more basketball camps, like kid camps than football. So I remember just camps that I had gone to. I just remembered how important it was at the time. I remember just having fun and being there. And for us, that's why we want to focus on allowing the kids to have a good time, letting them run around, play, especially the younger you are. I remember being, young at a basketball camp, and that was the biggest thing in the world, whatever game was going on, whatever drill. So we want them to be able to enjoy that and then organically be able to work in mental health things and give them tools so they can grow.
Why is mental health so important to you and you feel like, especially the athletes?
Yeah, I think for me and for the foundation, one of the things that makes it so important and so special is it's something that connects all people. Obviously for me as an athlete, but whatever walk of life anyone's on, we all have our own journeys with our mental health. And I'm a firm believer that, you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others, in order to take care of what you do for a living. And it's something that, we want to work to continue to destigmatize and give young kids tools so that they can, be well equipped to go on their journey of mental health. So I'm super grateful for my team, for the entire foundation, and for this event today.
Did you have an NBA player when you were young whose camp you went to, or someone who noticed you?
I went to Kobe's camp when I was young, which was one of my favorite memories as a kid. I don't know if he noticed me, but there was a bunch of kids. He was cool. We all got to take a picture, and I remember him being saying hello and him being super, super kind. And super nice to myself and to everyone. And obviously that's Kobe. So seeing him do that at a young age was that was amazing. I remember having a great time. It's definitely humbling just to be able to be in a situation now where I can host my own camp.
Bryce, we've seen really what it means to these kids when you walk out and you are actively engaged with them. But what's an example of how they're having an impact, this experience is having an impact on you?
Yeah, it's definitely have a tremendous impact. Again, this is something that I never even dreamed being possible. Just being able to be in a situation to be able to give back, be able to put on something like this. I'm super grateful for my team, for the work that goes into this, and for me being able to interact with all the campers, and just see that joy in their eye, and playing the game and having a good time, and trying to help out, whether it be through the mental health stuff or giving little tips on the field. It's something that brings me a lot of joy, honestly, and I feel like it's what it's all about, being able to give back. So it definitely has a huge impact on me.
Go ahead. No, you go.
It seems like this off season we've seen you do more community things. Is that a way that you're kind of immersing yourself more into the Charlotte community?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just super grateful for the community itself, just for embracing me. The longer I've been here, the more I've enjoyed it, the more rooted I felt me and my family have become. So I've felt more called and more drawn just from being here longer and longer, just wanting to give back, wanting to be a part of the community. The fan base and the community in general is such a, it's such a strong building block for us. We rely and lean on them a lot during the season and the off season. I want to do everything I can to give back. I'm super grateful for being able to be here. So every time I've been able to be out in the community, it's been a great time.
The timing of this between OTAs and mini camp before you go on summer break, why was it important to have that kind of, I guess, checkpoint within, from a perspective standpoint, within the off-season program as opposed to maybe like later on in the summer?
It's a great opportunity just to gain some perspective. Again, it's when you're working and football is your job and you get into the very intricate details of what we all go through as professional athletes. I wouldn't say you lose the love, but obviously it becomes work. You do it all the time, and this being like a great reminder for myself, a great refresher going into mini camp where we're going to be locked in, grinding for next week. Just being able to see the joy that everyone, as kids especially, had, seeing just kids enjoying the game, having fun, running around. That's something that, again, for me, I'm super grateful for. I take a lot of pride in and get a lot of joy from. So it'll be great just to get some perspective going into mini camp.
Is that your favorite part, interacting with the kids? Because we saw you at Xavier's camp interacting. It seems like it comes natural to you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super grateful for the campers, for the youth. Again, just seeing the joy they have. Both of my parents were educators, so I was always in my mom's classroom or with my dad when he was at his school. So I definitely am used to it. And again, just seeing the joy that they bring to the game and to life in general. It's stuff that it's definitely I'm definitely grateful for it.
Any examples of, when you're dealing with the kids now where they've come to you with something, you're talking about mental health, that you feel like you've had an impact, they've come back to you later and said something to you?
Yeah, I've definitely had some kids come up to me. We in the middle of the camp we kind of paused to do some breathing and meditation, and I've had a couple of kids after that kind of come up to me and ask me more questions on it, share some things that they have done or said, and wanted my opinion on it. And again, that's something that means so much to me. Football, obviously, I love the game. It's taken me a lot of places, and I'm super grateful for it. Not everyone's reality is going to be able to make that their entire life, and be able to give people tools that stretch beyond just the football field. I'm very grateful to be in that situation.
And talk about your dad's influence on you with the mental health side and how that makes you feel, because can be a touchy subject. How that's made you comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, I'm super grateful just to have my dad in the household, have someone with a bunch of experience and his profession being in the mental health, and having a psychologist there that he was able to have those conversations. I was able to grow up without it being stigmatized and knowing the importance of it. I credit a lot of what I've been able to accomplish in life and in football because of that. Just the focus that I've had, the intentionality that I was introduced to at a young age, and I know that everyone doesn't have that luxury. And I think that's a big reason for our mission at the Young Nine Foundation is trying to give people tools that obviously not everyone gets. Everyone looks at it differently. There's a lot of different just upbringings when it comes to mental health, and wanting to introduce that to kids at a young age, being able to have some sort of that luxury that I was able to be afforded to. I'm grateful for us and our mission to do that.
What's your vision for growing the foundation, and kind of what's next, event-wise or just awareness-wise?
Yeah, this is going to be our last one for the year. Obviously going into camp and in the season. Obviously the focus there when that's going on, but I always want to be able to be a resource and to help as many people as possible. We've being able to do things like that, to have outreach out in the community. We still have people who will be working on the foundation during the year when I'll be more focused on football, of course. But we want to do anything we can to help and provide resources and access for people who are looking for it.
Can you tell us about the partner CareSource?
Yeah, we're super grateful for CareSource to come in and be a sponsor for us. Them again just wanted to also be a part of the community, to come out and help, and we wanted partners that that aligned, that had similar visions and views, and had the same priorities and agendas that we have. And CareSource has been amazing. Again, being able to do something like this, helping out the community, their belief in being aligned with what it is we stand for. We couldn't be more grateful for them.
Bryce, you brought up like kind of the monotony or like the grind of training camp and OTAs and kind of getting stuck into that kind of mindset. How do events like this, or maybe even joint practices, just kind of shaking it up a little bit on the football field, kind of not necessarily reinvigorate you, but kind of add some excitement to what you're doing?
Yeah, it's always nice. We talk about consistency a lot in the building, and that's something that we want to embrace, not run from. There's going to be monotony. There's going to be, that's just how seasons go in this profession is. So we want to make sure that we're comfortable, not getting complacent just because things are the same. But, of course, it's human nature. It's always nice to have a switch up. Always nice to have something that's different. So when we do get a luxury like this, joint practices, whatever it may be that makes it different, it's always nice to lean into that and, just give you some new perspective.
What's the most interesting question you've had during all these camps from the kids?
What is the most interesting question? There's been some, I appreciate the, obviously you're kids, so, the unfiltered, thoughts that come up, is always, it's always funny. I'm trying to think of a good one. One of the kids was like, you play in the NFL? I was like, yeah, I do. It's like, so do you have $1,000? I was like, I do. He's like, and he went crazy. He was like, whoa, and he ran around, which is I 100% remember he was, I don't know, maybe, I think he was 6 or 7 in the 6 or 7-year-old group, and I also remember being 6 or 7 and thinking $1,000 was the maximum amount of money anyone could have in life. So that was a funny one.
Did you ask for a loan?
Did you ask Kobe anything?
I don't think I did ask Kobe anything. I was probably way too nervous for it. But I do remember him being around, interacting with the kids. He was shooting, which we would all be playing a game, and he just shoot around. Everyone stopped the game and just watch him shoot. I was probably too nervous. I do have he did pictures with each team. So I remember that, and I remember literally dapping up every single kid, which we were all we're never washing our hand again when we were younger. But yeah, that was definitely a great memory.
Have you reached out to other NFL players who have spoken on anxieties, like Brent Brooks or Lane Johnson or Max Crosby, and try to kind of heighten the messaging beyond the foundation at all?
Yeah, I've been able to have some more organic conversations that haven't had as much to do with that, but that's definitely something that I would love to do. I have a ton of respect. There's a lot of guys in the league that are doing the same thing, that are advocating and out in their communities, giving back in regards to mental health. So I have a ton of respect for the work being done around the league.
How have you felt your ties to the city grow into your third year?
Yeah, I think just being here, I'm just able to obviously be more familiar, understand the city, and really it's felt more and more like home every year. I love the community, the area. There's, it's a great city, and I'm super grateful to be able to be here. Obviously there's, a lot of places you can end up, a lot of places you get drafted in. This has been great for myself. Everyone's been great to me and my family. So just being able to spend more time here, being out here, trying to be more out in the community as much as I can. Every time I've been able to have the privilege to do that, it's been great. So it's just the time here has been amazing.